Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings! Welcome to the Shack Life season premiere and our first episode of 2022, if you can believe that. So many twos, 2022. Here we are, me, Garret, Elaine. How are you guys doing I feel like I haven't seen both of you in so long. I haven't seen you since last year.
Oh, no, not a dad
crazy.
joke.
It has been a few weeks though, so yeah. I hope you both had a good holiday and haven't been too busy in the first start of the new year here. How have things been?
How are you doing, Garret? I feel like we have to ask you first.
I've been better. There's only a once in a lifetime opportunity to work on Christmas Day, and yeah, it's right here. Yeah, it's been nonstop every day, but I'm doing okay. I'm getting sleep. I'm eating food. I generally know what the time frame is right now. We're in January, right? Like
you just told me
we are in January.
You asked me if it was still 2019.
Like, yeah, January 2019, right? We're before COVID. No, okay.
Sweetie, you need a nap. Love you, buddy.
I'm in limbo right now. Like, oh my.
What's
goodness.
the status? Tell us what the status is on the thesis.
Is it written?
Okay, it's written. It's there.
Good job.
It's like all together. And all the pages, all the chapters are together. I got to send it tonight. Like, I really got to. I got to send it tonight, like ASAP to the committee so I can present. Tuesday, the 18th, January 18th is my defense presentation.
My butt is puckered for you. Like, I'm uncomfortable for you. Because I went through, I didn't go all the way to PhD, but I have my master's and I remember how stressful. So I have you in my heart, Garret.
Thank you so much, Elaine.
Oh,
after that, I move. So this month is a very tumultuous, very chaotic time.
Stress after stress after stress. Yeah. What a way to start the new year.
I can't believe in a month I'll be in a different state working at a different job. I still can't believe it. So
it's going to come fast.
Mm-hmm. It's going to come fast. Yes. Whew. Well,
but hopefully you were managing to find some time, over break, over, the holidays too. I say break because I'm on break. Not everybody's on break. I feel like I take that for granted sometimes, but hopefully over the holidays you had time to relax a little bit between that hard work. What about you, Elaine? What's been going on in the world of Elaine?
I took 2 weeks off. I was really burnt out right before Christmas. I took not just from I wasn't on podcast for a couple of weeks, but I took off from essentially Christmas Eve through to this past Tuesday. I was off. I was like, don't call me. Someone tried to text me about a work thing. I was like, no.
Absolutely
I just didn't answer. I told them I was going to be off. I was very clear. I just didn't answer the text. I messaged them when I got back into the office on Tuesday and I was like, sorry, but no. And she was like, it's cool. I'm glad
somebody else's problem until you get back.
It could have waited.
Your problem.
She was trying to send this report on the 30th of December. I'm like, no one is working. No one is working.
Nobody's working.
Nobody cares.
Nobody's working. So I took time off. I recharged a pretty good amount. We had a lot of social obligations in that time, like family stuff. And then we were dancing around. My daughter got a stomach bug. So we had to reshuffle a bunch of things. So this weekend, I'm doing nothing. And I'm really excited. The most intense thing we are doing this weekend is going to the grocery store and playing Animal Crossing. So it's good.
That sounds like the best.
Garrett's very jealous.
Life's good. I've been you, Garret. I'm too old for that now.
So you're putting in that hard work now so that can be you later on.
Age 10 years in my mind. Oh my goodness.
Thanks, grad school. I've been there.
So
for me, it's been a lot of I had winter break. I was able to rest, relax. I don't feel like it was enough because we went back to work this week, and this was the craziest week. We were off for a snow day on Monday, so one extra day of our break. It didn't snow a single centimeter, so it was forecasted to be a lot of snow, and then we got nothing. Went back on Tuesday. Wednesday there was a 2-hour delay because of icy conditions.
That's right.
Then we had an actual snow day holiday today and had off today. So this was just kind of a wild first week back. But all in between of that, we're still having such horrible staff shortages at school between people being sick, people, just people who have family members who are sick and can't come in. And I had a half a day where I got to do my job, and the rest of the days I was covering other classes because of staff shortage and whatnot. So it was a little bit of a stressful week back, despite having off a couple days when we weren't supposed to. I'm hoping that things are going to be better next week, but it's just tiring. Like, I don't know. I question the decision sometime, but this isn't the place for that. But
yeah, my kids were remote all week, so I missed a lot of that shuffling, and I kind of think it'll be a little bit back and forth with that through January. So I just told my boss, I was like, I'm just going to work from home for January because it's too ugly
the
out
best
there.
Option right now.
That was the smartest decision. And he looked at me and he was like, I don't think anyone's going to argue with you about that. I'm like, no, I don't think they are.
I almost feel like we're going in that direction, but I almost wish that we did that for this week, because there's so many shortages, so many people out that like, I wonder how much learning actually got done this week on this week back.
Probably
delays and substitutes, like whatever. But in the meantime, I was able to get some gaming in over the days that I did have off. So that's exciting. So I'll start with what I've been playing, if you don't mind.
I'm excited.
I started a very, very old game, and I started a very, very new game. So I started Secret of Evermore on the Super Nintendo. So funny story with that. So I didn't really know much about this game, but this was on my list way back when of all the Super Nintendo games that I wanted to play at some point. And turns out it's just like Secret of Mana, with all of the mechanics, and the gameplay is exactly the same. And I really love Secret of Mana, so I was really into this. You get a cute little dog, you get to name the dog. I named my character Taylor, and I named the dog Swift, so I've got Taylor Swift going on. So I played through the first boss, which is a tough first boss. There's kind of like a difficulty curve there, and then I accidentally deleted my save file.
What?
There's a whole story behind that. Well, I was clearing up space in my computer, and it deleted, and like all of my emulation files got deleted, and they didn't go into the recycling bin. They got like perma deleted, and but it's okay because I got back up to where I was, so I'm very excited to continue that soon. So that's in like my retro corner of what I've been playing. And then I finally started Death's Door, which we talked about this. Like, I can't believe that I didn't play this game sooner. I feel like this is definitely right up my alley in terms of, gameplay. And I love crows, and it's visually beautiful. I didn't really understand how the checkpointing worked at first. And that was kind of making me not enjoy it, because every time I died, I thought I had to backtrack really, really far, because it takes you back to the last door that you entered. But then I kind of figured out, when you make progress, it gives you some shortcuts back to where you were. So I was able to kind of get through some areas faster than I thought. It's harder than I thought too. Like right off the bat, like the first boss, I died to a couple times. Like I was not ready for that at all. But I'm really feeling this game. I am excited to play some more of it. I am playing it on the OLED because I have an OLED now.
Yes.
It is so pretty, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm playing two games that I really like.
Does it run really well on the Switch?
Oh, I was going to ask that question too.
It does, yeah. I've only played it handheld so far. I don't think I've had any issues. Yeah, I don't think I've had issues.
I have
none that I would see. I don't have the same eye that you do for it.
I mean, frame rate drops I have problems with, or screen tearing actually bothers me more. Like I can tolerate,
Yeah, I didn't notice any.
That's good. That's good. I really enjoyed Death's Door. Is one of very few games I finished last year, and I've been very fond of it. I pre-ordered the limited run or special reserve, I think is carrying the
If that's still available, I think I want to get that. I don't know if it might be sold out by now, but I want to try to look into getting that, because this might be worth it.
That's the one I picked up the Switch version in that form, because I said on a podcast last year that if it came out physically for Switch, I would buy it that way. because I already own it digitally on Xbox. So
Yeah. Gyro in chat is
Cool.
bringing up that it doesn't have a map and he hates that. I
No.
hate that too. I'm a chronic map checker. And
oh no,
it's not like each area doesn't seem like so huge that I would get totally lost without a map. I don't know if maybe some areas get like more wild and maze-like. I'm sure they do, but
I didn't have trouble with that. I don't know, but
Okay.
it's like it evokes Dark Souls for me, and I kind of liked that it doesn't have a map. This is a
Yeah.
me thing. I realize it's not an everyone thing. I'm like you, Bex. If there's a map, I check it, and it's distracting, and I just kind of want to dive into the game, you
Mhm. know.
So I think for me,
Mhm.
certain games, this one's pretty tight. You shouldn't have too much trouble.
I just don't have like such a good memory when I'm playing. Like if I explored this corner yet? I don't know. It kind of looks the same as that corner. Like I don't have that strong short-term
fair.
memory when I'm playing games.
That makes sense. I've been
Yeah.
playing Death's Door as well on PC. Very little, of course, due to my situation, but I have been playing it. I just beat the boss that was in like the old lady churn maze or
Yeah.
whatever. I beat like the first
Yes.
major boss there, and then I went back to it. I was like, oh my goodness, there's a basement and deeper levels, and I'm like,
Yep.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the map checking and everything, but I'm actually glad when I was going deeper into it, I was actually glad there wasn't a map because there's so many different secret areas that if they did have a map, it'll probably lose a little bit of the fun of exploring.
That's true
Yeah.
because
A
I
little
did
bit,
notice a
yeah.
couple areas where like I didn't realize at first, but like you could go behind it. Like it's like a hidden little area that you might not be able to tell
Yeah.
that you can go behind and find a secret hidden item. You're right.
I like that too.
So it's been fun. It's been
Yeah.
I'm probably not as excited as the others in PSVG crew, but I'm enjoying my time with Death's Door. It is a delightful game
Good.
for sure.
Good.
What else have you been playing, Garrett? In your limited
I
time.
started Pokemon Brilliant Diamond
last.
because I didn't want to like, struggle with gaming as I struggle with my life. So
Mhm.
Pokemon was enjoyable. I beat the second gym, I think. No, wait.
Okay.
I'm in the city where the second gym is. Is that the grass one? I think, right?
I don't even remember.
Oh my god, so forgettable. You don't even
that
remember.
game like went in my mind and went right
It just
out.
went out.
She bull rushed through it really fast though, and that happens when you do that. You know what I mean? So like she
I
ingested it quick.
don't know that I would have remembered it even if I had taken my time.
no.
Maybe I
Kyle
would. I
said
don't know.
yes, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm in that city. I'm about to face the second gym. It's been just fine. It's like, oh, this is Pokemon Diamond as I knew it before, like 10 years ago or whatever, whenever it came out. No, it's right. It's been like 15 years or something like
been a
that
minute.
since.
It's
Yeah,
been a minute.
15.
Yeah. Dang. I'm glad I'm playing it because it's classic Pokemon and I enjoy classic Pokemon. I think I very much enjoyed it a lot more when I was younger, compared to now, but I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. I'm glad I'm going back to my roots with Pokemon with this game.
How do you feel about the
Um,
pacing with like leveling up
Pacing's
and things
slow.
like that? Okay.
I feel like it's pretty slow for me. XP share, I'm glad there's XP share in this game because the pacing does actually keep up with it, but it's so dang easy. It's easy and slow, which is like, I guess it's not that much fun, but for me it is just of pure nostalgia. It's
That's
like, oh, I remember
literally
that
like Pokemon in a nutshell. It's
Yeah, easy but
I'm
slow.
slowly
Yeah.
I'm slowly gathering the conclusion in my head is like maybe I'm not that much of a Pokemon fan anymore, but I
we
am a
still play
nostalgic
it. What is
Pokemon
wrong
fan.
with us? Like I feel the same way, Garrett.
don't
I like
know.
don't even like it, but I love it.
It's like you can't help yourself. You have to do it. It's like
Yeah.
compulsory. You know what I mean? Like you've got to play it because it's Pokemon and it's out.
Right.
I don't know. I do it too. And every time I get into them and I play them and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself again? But then the
Right,
next game comes
right.
out and I'm like, but I'm doing it again. Oh
I
no.
know.
You know?
Well, I had
Yeah.
motivation to start this during the break because my little brother, he's like 9 years old. And he's just like me. He's obsessed with Pokemon right now. It's like that's prime age to get into Pokemon. And so I was just playing
Yeah.
with him and just like going through the motions and everything. He's been playing all the previous like Switch Pokemon games and also the 3DS ones. He's just super into it. So it was very
Well,
nice
that's
to
good.
have
I
some
feel like
bonding time.
that's a good way to enjoy Pokemon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we like
Yeah.
named our Pokemon after Avatar: Last Airbender characters, and it was
Aw.
actually a lot more fun playing with that little guy than just by myself.
That's
It was
good.
Yeah.
pretty entertaining. So,
It's fun with kids.
yep,
It is fun with kids.
that's it.
Elaine?
Let's see. But it's like I felt like going back to games that I've previously played. So I started playing Destiny 2
Go.
again because Dev finally broke me down, and I was like, well, and then all the stuff went on sale, right? So the PSN sale popped up, and I'm like, fine, for $30 for like whatever they had the recent stuff. I was like, fine, and now I can't stop playing Destiny 2. Oh no.
Oh goodness.
Like, yeah, it's like a lot of fun. And I forgot how much fun the loop of that game was and how good it felt to shoot the guns in that game. So I've been playing that. And then my daughter decided to teach my girlfriend how to play Animal Crossing.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
so it's adorable. So Katie's like sitting next to her, like, no, you do this, and this is how you fish, and this is where you sell things, and come to my island, and here's all the fruits. And she made her a
Aw.
robe, and I'm like, guess I'm installing the DLC for Animal Crossing and playing it. So now
That's so cute.
my 9-year-old is concocting a party for all of us who are going to play Animal Crossing, and like, so my
Aw.
girlfriend's youngest, the 10-year-old, he started playing it. So she was on a video call with him while he was at his dad's, playing Pokemon with him Animal Crossing while I was playing Destiny this morning. So Animal Crossing is infecting any child in the house who's not enthralled with Fortnite, which is the younger two. So
Well, the good thing about it is you can all connect in the game. It supports up to 8 players, so you can all when have that party, you can all be there on the same island.
She made smoothies. She's got party foods. She's adorable. My daughter's like way into it. The girlfriend is like way into it. So I just updated my Animal Crossing like today, and I started dipping back in. So
good.
I'm excited.
I have to connect on there so I can send you stuff if you're getting back into it.
Yeah, my girlfriend said she wants to visit your island. She's like, she has to see it. So we're gonna have a video chat.
More Animal Crossing friends. Okay,
yeah, she's
sounds
like
good.
really excited. She's like, tell Bex I want to visit her island. I'm like, oh god.
Tell her I said she's invited whenever she wants.
Sick. So this will be fun. But yeah, so we've been doing Animal Crossing, and I've been doing Destiny. It's basically like comfort food games, like winter comfort food games is how it feels.
I like
right
that.
now. It's good. Feels good.
Yeah, that's good.
Feels good.
That's good. I like that we've all been playing good stuff. And hopefully we'll continue to be playing good stuff because we are looking ahead at 2022. Before we get into some of the news stories for this week, I listed out all of the games that I consider to be of note that we know or believe to be coming out in 2022 as far as Nintendo Switch game goes. So I'm going to read through these. Some of them have release dates or windows so far, and then even more of them are undated so far, but are expected to come out in 22. So the one that's coming up first is Pokemon Legends Arceus, coming out on January 28th, which we'll be talking a little bit more about shortly. Sometime in February coming is the Life is Strange Remastered Collection. I know a lot of us in PSVG are very excited about that. Coming on March 4th is Triangle Strategy. I know a lot of people are excited about that one. Triangle.
Get the triangle strategy going.
Oh, yeah.
All the triangles.
March 10th is the Chocobo GP, that Final Fantasy racing game.
Cool.
March 22nd is Rune Factory 5. I feel like I haven't been hearing a lot of buzz about this one, but I know Rune Factory is really popular, so maybe we'll start hearing some more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Delayed to spring 2022 is the Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. In early 22 is Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Mm-hmm.
And then some other notable titles that are undated at this time, coming out sometime in this year, are Outer Wilds, Sports Story, Fall Guys, Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, River City Girls 2, Sonic Frontiers, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, and Breath of the Wild's sequel. So we have some questions about this. I know that's a lot. I feel like that's a lot of things
Video
that
games.
we know about going into the year. I feel like at this point in the year, we might not have, I think as many titles. We have a lot of titles, but we don't have a lot of dates, I think is what it is. So let's start with Canadian Crawler's question. He wants to know, what games are you looking forward to the most in 2022? We named a lot of them. Which ones are you most anticipating?
Splatoon 3 is really exciting for me. There are 6 of us in this house, and all of us like that game, that series. So like that's the one that I feel like we'll all be on and playing, and it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm also really looking forward to the Kirby game. Those are the two big ones for me.
Kirby game. Yeah. With
Cool.
Splatoon, one thing that I hope, and you said that you have a lot of people in your house who are excited about it. One thing that I hope that they add is an easier way to team up with people locally and online.
Me too.
Because I feel like with
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
it was such a bad system in Splatoon 2 of joining a friend. Like first one person had
very
to get
rough,
into a lobby.
Awful.
Then you just had to join, the lobby that they're in after they've already started a game. And then you might not even be playing on the same team because it randomizes it. So I would really like to see a better partying system in that game because I'm in
Me
the same
too.
boat. I have a lot of friends who are excited about this that I want to team up with, and I want it to be easy so that we do it more often.
And I also want to see more cooperative modes like Salmon Run. Like that's our favorite.
Me
Like,
too. Yeah.
Here because we don't bicker and there's no like getting because even if you party up, you still can get split into other teams and lobbies and stuff. So like
Yeah.
with little kids, like just let us be on the same team. Bless up Nintendo, please. Like I just want to play the cooperative modes and have them always be available because I hate that Salmon Run is only available certain times and days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make it always available. Just always give us access to that stuff and let us play in a big group and I'll be happy. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
See, I'm just a sucker, or we are all suckers for Splatoon, just because
Yeah.
look at the features we're asking for,
Right.
and
I
like
know.
we're gonna pay $60, and we're gonna be so happy that they're gonna fix these features. They're fixing it. They're not updating. They're not advancing.
They're fixing it. But to their credit, like I played lots of hours of Splatoon, even though it's a subpar matchmaking system and like it's lacking in like it's just so fun.
It's my second
It
most
doesn't
played
matter.
game on the Switch.
It's great. I'm
Oh,
minus
nice. Me too.
Yeah.
third probably for me because of
Because
Tetris.
of Fiona.
Yes, Fiona, yes.
For me, Tetris and then probably Animal Crossing and then
Oh wow, okay.
Splatoon. That's probably what
Brandon
Cool.
wants us to predict what month we think Splatoon 3 will be released.
When have the previous games come
Ooh.
out?
The first one was in May, and the
Yeah.
second one, I believe, was July or June or July.
I wanna
thought it was
s-
later than that. August.
I want to
maybe?
say I wanted to
I
say
think it was
May
July.
or June. I want to
Oh,
say
okay,
that's their
okay.
summer release. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It
I
could
think-
be
I
a
think
summer release.
That feels comfortable considering that we had a pretty, not like a super meaty trailer for it, but they did show, I think kind of what the plot of the game is going to be. We could get something,
Mhm.
that shows us some gameplay pretty soon. And yeah, I think that could fit comfortably into June, maybe July at the latest.
Especially if Kirby is like a early Q2 game because Pokemon is like very early year, and then you could see Kirby hitting like March or April, and that would set them up nicely to drop this in like right as the school year ends and kids go into summer. Yeah.
Yep. That sounds
What
good to
else
me.
from this list are you looking forward to, Garrett?
I am looking forward to. Wait, I just had. Oh, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Yeah, I
That's
knew you
like
would
my
say that.
number one most excited game. I thought it was dated, but I guess not. I thought it was like March or something, but maybe I just had that in my head for some reason.
I don't know. It
but
might be.
But yeah, that the first game was like probably one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games ever. I think it's easily the most easily accessible XCOM like game that there
Agree.
is, like a turn-based tactics game, and cute cartoon fun with Mario characters, and then the DLC was excellent. I'm very much looking forward to what they have done with this game, what kind of new mechanics they're putting in. Hopefully they don't go way off base from the first game too. I'm ready to enjoy more of this game. So super excited about that. And then second, of course, Triangle Strategy.
I'm excited about that one too.
Yeah. The names are ridiculous.
They're so bad.
Why?
It's bad.
It's
I
not
couldn't
good.
believe the first part, Project Octopath Traveler, and then they just knocked out Project, and they did the same thing for this. But I'm very much looking forward to this one. Octopath Traveler didn't catch me as much, and that's just because of the pacing of the game, I think, and then the battle system itself. I love the art style of it, though. And so you put like some Final Fantasy Tactics type of gameplay into it. I think I'm going to have a lot better time with these types of games. So, yeah, those are the two I'm most excited for.
Are you still
coming out
picking up
this year.
Advance Wars Reboot Camp?
I definitely am. That'll be later on. I am playing a little bit here and there with the Retroid Pocket, so I'm not like over the moon and wanting to get it like probably day one, but I'll keep my eye on it. I heard actually this game the reason why they delayed it was much more than just working on like bugs or whatever. They're actually improving the gameplay or improving animations of some kind. And
That's
I think
good.
there's a lot more involvement with intelligent systems than before. So yeah, I think they're gonna deliver a good product with Advance Wars, which could be on my fantasy draft. We will see.
Ooh, this is going to be a big year for tactical type games for you.
Yeah.
Strategy and tactical
I know.
games between those
No,
three.
no break. Yeah, no joke.
Wow, neither of you said Breath of the Wild 2. That hurts.
I don't believe
Well,
that's
I don't know
actually
if it's coming out this
year.
year.
I just
Yeah.
don't believe it. Like, I really don't. I think that
It's
one's going to
hard.
get pushed. Yeah.
I
Sorry.
feel like it might be, but I don't know.
Sorry. I just don't.
If we're considering it to be 2022, that's still my most
We're
anticipated
still calling
game.
it Breath of the Wild 2, Rebecca.
We have seen precious little. I have no faith that this thing is coming out this year. I just don't. I could see it being pushed to early 2023 Q1, but I don't think that's just going to hit this year. And I love you, Bex. I
think if we go all of January without hearing anything, it's not coming out this year. But I think if we could very easily get a direct or something that really outlines it, gives us a solid release date.
Yeah, I think if COVID hadn't been continuing to happen and like dipping in and out with like variants and stuff, this might be a different world. But I think they're still dealing with a lot of stuff related to that, and it's just pushing everything. I don't see that happening.
I forgot to name a game that I'm excited for. Sea of Stars is coming out.
I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Yes.
I was going to say, because that's one of my most anticipated ones. So Breath of the Wild, if it comes out, Sea of Stars, I feel like is another one that it is risking getting delayed into 23.
Absolutely,
which I feel like has a bigger chance of getting delayed to 23 because it's a smaller studio working on it.
Yep.
So the only one that like I feel pretty damn good about coming out in 2022 is Splatoon 3 because we've seen way more of that game than anything else. And then just shout out to Oxenfree, Lost Signals, because I really like the first game.
Yeah, the Oxenfree is a gem. So yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to Outer Wilds is top 10 for me of all time.
Game.
So
great game.
Definitely check it out.
We had both Gags and Hobik ask us, what's our predictions for the big Nintendo game that's not yet announced? Gags offered up a new Mario Kart, a new F-Zero. Do we think that there's anything else that could be coming?
I'm not answering this question. I know exactly why you put that question in there. I'm not saying anything.
I will answer because I have nothing to do with any fantasy draft business. I will say I don't think there's going to be anything else. I think their deck is stacked, and COVID-19 work shortage and concerns will cause them not to have anything else. That's what I think. But
safe. For anyone who is looking for context here, right after this podcast, we are picking our games for our fantasy critic draft. And I think one or more people might have been fishing for an answer from me and Garret.
Maybe. I don't know. These are not from the fantasy draft, but it was carefully placed in there. I was like, oh, okay. I see you, Rebecca.
Maybe somebody asked them to ask it.
No,
I do think we will get something else announced for this year. I think that Nintendo does have a couple things up their sleeve. Usually we don't go into a year knowing everything. I don't think it's going to be anything like a Zelda level type announcement. I know a lot of people are hoping for Wind Waker, Twilight Princess type stuff. I don't think it will be like that, but I would not be surprised if there's some franchises that are due to appear on the Switch that will be announced.
Yeah. Could be.
I want safe fantasy critic answer.
I would rather Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, especially if Breath of the Wild 2 gets pushed. I would rather that get released. But hey, I don't make the rules. Damn it.
You do not, neither do we. We are not Nintendo.
We are not Nintendo. I'm sorry.
We're also thinking about some possible events, not just games, but events that could propel us forward throughout the year. Usually there's some kind of Pokemon Direct in the first few months of the year. Usually before a Splatoon game, we get a Soul Splatoon Direct and a test fire where you can demo the game before it releases. I wonder if we'll get something like that again. In news that I think surprises nobody. E3 will be digital only again this year. Of course, they're saying due to ongoing health risks surrounding COVID-19. It remains to be seen, I think, if it's ever going to be in person again. We do have a question about that, but I'll come right back to that. Right after that was announced, Jeff Keighley, our favorite guy, reminded everyone that his Summer Game Fest will also be returning this summer. So we have some events to
Of course it is.
to push us through the year. I'm sure we'll get our Indie Direct somewhere in there. I'm sure that this will start to answer some of our questions about when all of these games should be coming out.
Yeah.
Do you think we see something in January?
I suspect. I think with Pokemon Arceus coming out, they'll let January go. I would say earliest would be February, and I think the next thing we probably hear is about Splatoon 3. That's my guess, or an Indie Direct. Nothing like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
those would be the big things I would expect. And by the way, like related to the C3 news, there was some folks who had said this has quietly been in the works to kill the live event for like months. So they're saying ongoing COVID concerns, but the reality of the situation is a lot of publishers are realizing they don't have to pay the ESA anymore. They could just put on digital events themselves and save all that cash. So this might be the quiet death of like the physical E3. We'll see. You know,
that would be interesting, and I hope they propel something forward with E3 digital only. Like, make that a platform and own it, because they need money. ESA needs money.
The ESA needs the money. They do, but publishers and small devs don't want to pay. So
I know, but you got to go to Washington D.C. and control all the politics over there, because if ESA doesn't do it, then someone else will, and that's gonna that's gonna suck if you look at China. Just letting you know. So I don't know about like directs this month. As Elaine said, I think Pokemon Arceus should be front and center. It's a Pokemon game. They're treating it as a mainline Pokemon game, and it's made by Game Freak. So we know we're going to put it to a high standard. I think kids, now I'm looking at it, like seeing my little brother, I think kids are going to enjoy it no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're going to just see the Pokemon. They're going to be enthralled by it and then just go and catch whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just, I'm cautious about this game. I'm definitely not going to pick a day one. We'll see how reviews go. But yeah, I don't see much going on this month with Nintendo.
I definitely think their marketing is really pushing towards that right now. And then we'll once that's released, give it a week or two to breathe. Then we'll see maybe a direct where I think the first game out of all of these that we're looking at here that gets released is Kirby. I think that's going to come in like March, maybe April. April.
I could see that.
I could see them giving some stuff about Splatoon and then being like, okay, then there's going to be a Splatoon Direct followed by a test fire, and then that will bring us into everything else. Hopefully some more dates there. Regarding E3 being digital, Lucas M. Thomas, the editor-in-chief of Nintendo Force, wrote into us, E3 is not hosting an in-person event for the third year in a row. Do you think the expo will ever return to its former form? He also wanted to know if we had any good E3 attendee stories from back when it was still in person. I don't think any of us have been to E3
I never got to go.
No.
And I don't, to answer the question, I don't think so. I think we're going to be in this. I think that it behooves them to do a digital event that they own and organize instead of letting it go to the wilds and like not having a plan. So I hope to see the ESA pull something together, reduce the fees to publishers, but also reduce their overhead and not having to rent the expo center, and find some middle ground that makes for an event that's still exciting and allows them to pay their bills. Because I know they got to, they got to pay, they got to deal with lobbying, they got to deal with politics. So that's kind of what I foresee, and I hope that they can get their head around it and figure out a solution. That's what I say.
I do too. I hope that they can, because the online experience for it last year felt like a huge letdown. They promised like this big app, and it was going to be so exciting. And I do feel like there's a lot that you miss with it not being in person as far as the marketing goes. Like, there's no demos, there's no show floor, there's that tangible aspect of it that you're missing. And you're right that all of these publishers can just put out their own digital materials here. So I feel like they're still trying to get it right, but I am hopeful that it can continue on digitally if they play their cards right and figure out a good format and make it, I think, that these publishers want to buy into it.
Agree. I'd love to see
The
that.
the thing is, everyone is gravitating towards around these dates because we know we like to see something from these conferences and from like game showcases. So it's going to be a very crowded time. I would be actually pretty upset if publishers decided to just what they did like the past year and I guess past 2 years or whatever. They just sparkle in, a few games here and there. Oh, there's something going on a Saturday. It's like an indie kind of game stream. I'm like, guys, I don't have time
Yeah,
to just go
it's
through
too
all
much.
of this stuff. You got to consolidate. You got to put in a few days like E3 and just give it to us. And I think E3 can still do that in a digital format. It's very like they're capable of doing that. They just got to do it in a very cohesive way. And as Donnie said, I would pay money in order to get a premium online experience versus like a free experience of just catching the conferences or whatever. I would like to demo some games. I would like to do some sort of
Sure.
pass type of deal.
Well, the app last
yeah.
year was, I wish
bad.
I didn't do it for free, let alone
Yeah.
get paid.
It was actively bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think I might have reached the point, Garrett, where I'm swinging the opposite way, where I would rather read the blog breakdown bullet points after the fact because the pomp and circumstance is getting exhausting and like the discourse it generates. But that's probably just me being stressed and exhausted, and
well,
wanting
if it's contained to those couple of days, like Garrett said, then it feels like a celebration. It feels like Christmas. But when it's all strung out like that, that's when it feels exhausting.
I agree. That's true. And the online bickering and discourse stretches on forever, right? And you can never escape it. And that's when I'm just like, oh God, children, please fight nicely. So
I just give like a few days of work off and give us like all the gaming news right then and there, and we would totally have a PSVG kind of E3 coverage with that as well. Yeah, if they totally like separate and like pull it out like 3 or 4 months like they did, I don't know, like I can't catch up. I can't keep up with stuff because I got to go back to playing games and then doing life instead. So
same.
Any other thoughts on looking forward to 2022? Whether it's games, events.
It's a strong video game like release in like the beginning of the year. So I mean, like, just get ready. Other than the Nintendo Switch games coming out, get ready because February is like crazy.
I feel like 2022 is going to be what we thought 21 was going to be in terms of these game schedule.
Probably, I think also we're going to see some of those back half of the year games get pushed. Like that's just the reality we're living with. I think we're still going to be feeling this COVID like bump and shift. Yeah, just the way it is.
It is. I think even if a handful of these come out, I still think it will be a good year.
Very excited.
There was a 6-minute Pokemon Legends Arceus overview trailer that was posted yesterday, but right now it's only in Japanese. I was hoping that we would get the English version this morning. We did not. So I'm going to talk about what appears to be happening in the video and the details that we might learn from it, unless any Japanese speakers want to chime into chat right now. But it does look like they showed us not like anything huge new, but more kind of in depth of what we already knew. So if you're trying to avoid Pokemon spoilers, maybe tune out for the next 2 or 3 minutes. They showed us some more gameplay of Pokemon out in the overworld. They show that you need to be sneaky when approaching them because they can do 2 things. They can attack you, which turns into a battle if you don't dodge out of the way, or they could even flee before your eyes. So you could have your eyes on a Pokemon, start approaching it. It could get scared and just run or fly off. There seems to be a lot of diversity in the Hisui region. The trailer showed us lakes, beaches, swamps, snowy mountains, meadows, caves. So it looks like there's going to be kind of a huge range of what types of land and climates that we're going to see here.
Biomes.
Yeah, biomes is the word I was looking for. Thank you. They showed a populated town. It kind of reminded me a lot of Hiteno Village in Breath of the Wild in terms of, people walking around in it, the style of buildings. There was one big modern style building in the back that I think is going to be the headquarters for that team that they talked about a couple trailers ago. Yeah. There seem to be a lot of shops and merchants for you to buy materials before you go out on these expeditions. Within that populated town, they showed us a deeper look at the character customization, and it looks pretty good. You can change not only your clothes, but your hairstyle, your hair color, a lot of different things about your character. There seems to be a good emphasis on the noble Pokemon. These resembled the boss-like battles where they have a much larger health bar, and it takes a lot for you to take them down before you can attempt to capture them. The graphics still look embarrassingly basic, but I will admit that the world does look more filled than we thought. I don't think this is going to be quite so empty. I think it's going to be a lot like the wild area in Sword and Shield, but with more in it and more to do. There's still nothing at all about Arceus itself or how that Pokemon in particular ties into the story. I don't know if they're just leaving that as a big surprise, which I hope they do. I hope that they're leaving something for us to discover, because I'm a big I'm a big critic of them revealing too much information about Pokemon games before it's released. So I'm hoping that this is left as a surprise and that it's a good surprise and it's not like, just something that they tacked on that is not really even relevant at all. So we'll see. I don't know. You can take that as you will. Again, it releases January 28th. There's currently a Tetris 99 contest going on in that game right now to celebrate.
Not yet.
Arceus.
That's the 20th. The Tetris 99 event is on the 20th. So it's the weekend before the game releases. So it'll be like, it's the same. It's another Maximus Cup. So it'll be like a Friday to a Sunday or a Thursday night late to a Sunday. And that's the weekend
coming
before.
up.
Yep. I'm excited because it's Tetris.
You're more excited about that than Legends Arceus.
Absolutely. Because the Pokemon theme that's in the Tetris 99 game is super annoying. So I would rather have one that's like way better. So
I feel like I'm waiting to feel a certain way about this, but I still am in the camp where I feel like it's either going to surpass our expectations or it's going to be a massive dumpster fire of a game.
I just want this is one of those ones where I don't know either, and I want to see it on day one because of that. So like my interest is that I don't know where this is going to go, and it's different from everything they've done with the franchise so much so far that I'm like, well, I have to see this for myself. No, because everybody's going to have an impression and everybody's going to have an opinion, and I just want to boot it up and be like, all right, well, what do I think of it before I read all the...
I feel like realistically, it's going to be something that's like so cool for the first 2 hours.
Yeah, possible.
Then the gameplay loop gets old. What do you think, Garret?
I mean, when you read out all of this text, I'm still like, what do you do in this game, though? Like... Okay, it's lively. I guess so. I guess you go up to Pokemon and catch it. It's like, okay, I can do that in the regular Pokemon games. I don't know. Like, I don't know about the gameplay loop. I don't know how revolutionary it's gonna be. And as you said, if it's just a more lively, wild Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's like, well, then I'm not really excited for it. Then, but I don't want to be.
That.
I don't want to be super down on it. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to, for myself, not put expectations too high. Because when you imagine and describing a new Pokemon game, we have that dream expectation in our heads. We got this amazing open world that can be super detailed. It's like, it's probably not going to be that. And that's okay. It's going to be a new Pokemon game, though. It's going to be a new approach. So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, this is still Game Freak, like they've done good things with video games. Like I have some faith in that. It's been
a while since they've done good things.
That's true. Here's the thing about Pokemon games. When you really distill them down right now, they're all the same. Yeah. They're all the same. And
I know.
And we just discussed how we're kind of tired, but we keep convincing ourselves to do it. So maybe this will be different enough where we'll be like, okay, putting this this world into a different mechanic might be beneficial. It worked for a lot of people for Zelda, let's see. So
what I'm kind of thinking is, and I know we've said this before, but my hope is still that this is going to be a stepping stone to the series, in that like these are all really cool things. Like I do think it's really cool that you can sneak up on these Pokemon and there's multiple ways to approach it, and you can try to catch them if you want. They might flee before your eyes. You could battle them if that's what you so choose to do. They might attack you. You might have to dodge out of the way. These are all cool things that I think, if we can put them into a Pokemon game where we're, battling gym leaders and we're going throughout the league and we're kind of taking these mechanics and building on it instead of just having that be like, okay, well, that's a mechanic. It's not a game.
Right.
Am I making sense though? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of instead of gameplay loop, I'm thinking of more story, more world driven type of stuff, because I think the world of Pokemon is interesting and has its
Yes.
charm. But it's just not reflective in the recent game in Sword and
Yeah.
Shield. I think the story wasn't, like, everyone is saying, not me because I haven't played it much, that it's not that good. It's shallow. You just go through the motions. My brother played this on Christmas Day. I came back to him like later on. He's like, "Hey, what did you think about Sword and Shield?" It's like, I beat it in, I don't know, like that day, like 6 or 7 hours. I'm like, "Ari,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Wow.
that's crazy." But yeah, I just want to see more reflection on that type of things. Is
And I
writing
do
and
feel
story.
like they have an interesting concept here. Instead of making a brand new world, they're looking at ancient Sinnoh. They're looking at
Yeah,
how the region has
Yeah.
changed over time. We're seeing criminal technology. They don't even have real Pokeballs yet. They don't have a PC system for storing Pokemon yet. And I love this idea.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. What are they doing with the idea is what we still have
Mhm.
unanswered. And I feel like that is going to be the difference between making this, wow, this is really awesome and cool and a great step forward for Pokemon versus how did you manage to screw up such a good idea?
yeah, yeah.
It remains to be seen. I'm excited. We'll know in a couple weeks, and I really want to play it for myself because it's so
Yeah.
divergent from what, hopefully it's divergent from what Pokemon has been for
Mhm.
so long. Like, we're looking at Diamond and Pearl, and we're like, yeah, it's the same game it was 15 years ago, even though you kind of remade it. Sword and Shield, not that different either, you know? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they've added quality of life stuff to Pokemon, but the actual loop of Pokemon has been the same since the beginning of time, right? So
Right.
I'll take any divergence from that to get some fresh air into the series. So
Yeah.
let's see.
We will see.
We shall.
I'll probably
Over-
pick Cyndaquil.
Oh yeah, you will. I want to
Yeah.
pick Rowlet, but I saw the leak for the new typing for Decidueye, and I'm not a fan of it.
There's a new typing for it. Why?
There's a
Like,
new typing for the 3 starters.
what?
Don't worry,
So-
Don't spoil
Typhlosions is
this for
good.
me. I
I'm
just
not
don't
going to
wanna
say
know.
what they are. You can look them up, but I will say Typhlosions is a good one.
Okay, Decidueye is good by itself. You don't need to change the typing.
No, they screwed up my boy Decidueye.
Woo!
I love that starter.
Yeah,
by the
well,
way.
he's not good
my
anymore.
favorite. Oh, great.
Okay.
Oh boy. Over in the rumor mill, we've got some talk about Mario Kart 9, which I don't like that they're calling it Mario Kart 9. It's really the 10th Mario Kart. Nobody likes to admit it, but it is. They're saying that it's the next Mario Kart is in active development and comes with a new twist. I don't think this is too surprising, but it's good to hear talks
Right.
of it. This is according to analyst Serkin Toto. He's an industry analyst who came out and said that there's this new information about it. I don't think it's too surprising because I feel like a new Mario Kart game probably has been in development since 8 Deluxe came out.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a surprise that there's a new twist. I think that there's always a new twist in Mario Kart. They always give us some kind of new mechanic. I hope that it means like a new story mode or, a Nintendo multiverse type game with new characters. But I hope we hear about it soon.
I could see this being an E3 thing for them, E3 time
That
thing
could
for
be,
them,
yeah.
summertime.
Yeah, that
And
would
like
be a big
obviously,
announcement.
they sold so many copies of Mario Kart 8 and then Deluxe that it's like I cannot imagine a world in which they would not make another Mario Kart soon. They're
Exactly.
due. So obviously,
Yeah.
Great.
I think
Mario
they're
Kart's good.
waiting for this game, the 8 Deluxe, to start slowing down in sales, which it probably never will.
No, because
this
So I
point-
wouldn't be surprised if they're sitting on this for a long time.
yeah, or the development might have gotten slightly slowed down, or whatever new twist this is. They're,
Focusing
like,
on some
poking
other
at-
stuff. Yeah.
We're
Yeah, I
gonna
saw-
do quadruple dash instead of double dash.
Look.
Oh,
4 characters in one card.
wow.
Someone in the
They
chat
got
said bring
4
back
items
Double
going.
Dash, and I liked Double Dash like a lot more than most people did. That was
Oh,
one.
okay,
It's one of
okay.
my favorite Mario Karts. I loved it. I loved being able to hold 2 items and switching between the 2 characters, and like it was the best. Okay, I love that game. Give me that
Sounds
on the
good.
Virtual Console or
The
whatever.
question
it's called
is
now.
Mario Kart 9 releasing before Breath of the Wild 2?
No.
Don't see,
Not
Max.
a
Now that you said
chance.
that,
I don't know.
it's very possible.
Oh Oh, so now we know what Garrett's taking on Fantasy Critic.
I don't know.
Toto also predicts in 2022 that we'll see an established IP arriving on smart devices again. Again, I think that's a pretty safe bet. I hope it's Nintendogs.
I love Nintendogs. I'm
That
with
would
you, but
be-
it's gonna be more Mario Kart BS. Like it's gonna be. And the other
hope
one wasn't
not.
good. It wasn't good.
No, he's saying like a new IP, like something that's
Oh.
like
A new
an
established
existing
IP.
IP that's getting like a new a mobile game.
Maybe they'll do better with Pikmin. Just fix that.
That has a
Don't do
mobile
this.
game. That has the
It-
I
the
know,
Pikmin Bloom.
but
Niantic
it doesn't
one.
count because it's
Yeah.
bad.
I know.
It is? Oh, I don't know.
Boring.
It is bad, but it counts.
Nintendogs would be rad.
It
I
would
love
be.
Nintendogs would be the number one pick.
I want
Sure.
Nintendogs and cats.
And
They have-
cats, yeah.
I want that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Have them together.
Yep.
A little bit of random news to close off our news segment. The song Megalovania from Undertale was played for the Pope this week. So this has a little
Okay.
bit of background context needed for it. And it goes way back to 2016. YouTuber MatPat was invited to represent YouTube in an interview with Pope Francis during a conference about bringing the world together through the internet. I didn't know that this happened in 2016. But apparently MatPat was told to bring a gift representing his country, the United States. And for some reason, he chose a Steam code for Undertale to give to Pope Francis. Apparently, it
That's not the worst
represented
gift.
hope. It represented peace because it is a game to represent hope and peace and determination. So that was years ago. Then this week on January 5th, Pope Francis held his weekly general audience, though this time a circus troupe performed a musical medley for him, which included Megalovania. Apparently, the Pope loved it. We don't know whether he played MatPat's copy of Undertale or not. Maybe he did. Who knows? But he heard Undertale, the song Megalovania. So I think that's pretty cool. Imagine
wild.
being Toby Fox and hearing that.
That's wild right now. That's blowing my fool mind.
That's
cool.
very 2022.
Yeah, that's
It's very
real-
2022.
That's some real dark timeline stuff right there. It is.
I'm
It just
thinking
is.
of this and I'm like, how do we get here?
I
Don't
don't
ask
know.
Shh, Garrett, don't ask that question out loud because
The
the
Pope.
wormhole's going to open up and eat us all.
A
Don't-
religious figure that's been there for centuries.
Well, this Pope hasn't.
Now-
He's not a vampire. Calm down. Let's just be clear. This is a newish Pope. The man has
I'm
not.
sorry,
He's not Mobius.
But the position itself is like historically probably one of the most important figures of all time. Like the Pope, of anything.
Pope is a
like
vampire.
big pillars.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Stop it, Elaine.
Sorry. I can't. Used to be Catholic. I can't let it go. You're right. It's wild, Garrett, that a dignified religious position is sitting there rocking out to Megalovania. What
So
time?
I like to imagine that he got a Steam account, he downloaded the Steam code, that he played through the game, loved it, felt compelled enough to play the genocide route of Undertale because that's
Murdered
where
everything.
you hear the game, where you hear the song Megalovania.
Yeah.
You don't hear that in a normal playthrough of the game.
True.
So I don't know. if
His
that's
Steam
maybe
name
a
is
bad sign or
probably.
not.
I hope his Steam name is Big White Hat or Pope Mobile. I need it to be.
Pope,
I need this.
something stupid.
Big White
Something
Hat
dumb.
would be really good. I'm just saying.
Well, you have it. We live in a universe where the Pope is not only aware of the existence
Is
of
a gamer.
Undertale, but where he's a gamer. There you go. We'll just leave it at that. He's a gamer.
I like my timeline better where he's a vampire and it's the same Pope. Just a
Well,
He's a
maybe we should get him to play
vampire
Castlevania next. We'll get a Castlevania medley.
He'll be like, "Oh God, they're coming for me."
All right, that concludes our news segment. We have some chat
Thank you,
questions directly from you, and none of these questions are about the Pope or Undertale, but we have some good questions nonetheless. Starting with a question from Kyle the Pug. He's thinking about the Switch OLED model. He says 4 games to choose from to create your very own OLED Switch model design for 2022. So I'm guessing a special edition out of one of these 4 games. You can only pick one. Do you choose between Splatoon 3, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, or Kirby and the Forgotten Land? So it's not which is your favorite game, but which would you like to see a special edition Switch OLED model?
Splatoon 3. Because they
Splatoon
do
3.
the best vibrant colors. I think they do
Yeah.
those Splatoon Joy-Con that came out were dope. The watermelon colored ones.
They were
essentially.
amazing.
Yeah, I think Splatoon would make a really cool like backplate with the squids. It would be great. I say that.
I would probably say Splatoon 3 as well, though I might also lean towards a Kirby and the Forgotten Land special edition, because I'm imagining a really nice, like, pearl pink kind of design, kind of like the pearl pink
Cool.
3DS with the pearl pink Joy-Cons, and maybe the dock is designed in a similar color. I really like those soft pinks. I like the Switch. I have the pink, vibrant pink Joy-Con, and I like that, but I also really like the softer kind of pink style, which is like Kirby color.
Good choice. Good choice.
I want like the Splatoon splat on the dock, and then with the Joy-Con camera or Joy-Cons itself. So when you lock it, it actually syncs with like a huge splat color.
I like that. I like that.
I would be super down with that.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie wrote in and asked a question. He says, I'm excited about the Donkey Kong rumors that continue to swirl around Twitter and forums. Do you think we'll play a new Donkey Kong game this year? And if so, what do you want to see from the next installment?
I think if Nintendo hasn't talked about it yet, it's probably not happening this year, is my general stance.
Really?
On it,
you don't think so?
I don't think they're going to shadow dump Donkey Kong. It's too big.
No, they can.
They can. I just don't think they will. They have
I think they will.
Tropical Freeze was like well advertised in advance.
Well, yeah, Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. Yes, they were. It was advertised pretty well.
And so was the remake that they put out. Switch port.
I just think I know Donkey Kong IP. They can easily drop one in like upcoming 3 or 4 months.
Here's the thing:
they don't do that with their big franchises, though. They never. They like churn up the marketing machine every time, right? Like that's the Nintendo way.
Here's the thing. Who's developing it if Retro's over working on Metroid Prime 4?
So that's the point. And if that's... I mean, they could have enough people by now to split 2 teams off. That's completely doable for them. Right? I loved Tropical Freeze a lot. I want to see more of that kind. I love that it's hard. I love that they're like classic Donkey Kong difficult platforming. I just want more of that. I don't need something fancy, you know? So if it's an iteration, I'd be pumped. Super simple for me.
I find it hard to believe that Retro's working on it just because of Metroid Prime 4 development and what kind of craziness that is right now. It could be possible. I just find it hard to believe. But you're right, Rebecca. It's very hard to... Who is developing this Donkey Kong game? Because I doubt it's going to go back to a Nintendo like first party studio of any kind, because they're on a cycle. They're busy with their major IP. But Donkey Kong can be very service to other studios very well.
I almost wonder if Retro was working on it, then got the call, hey, come on and work over it, and then either they paused it or handed off the progress to someone else. I don't know who that somebody could be, to be honest.
I don't either, and I don't know what the staffing situation at Retro is like. Did they pull, because they're getting money to do Metroid again now, do they pull more people in to split and do both? Because they could.
Which could potentially delay like the next Mario game type of thing. Like, would they really say, hey, team who's working on Odyssey, stop doing that, or take some of your resources and send some of your people to finish this game? Like, I don't know that they would do that. Mario's bigger.
I suspect if Metroid Prime 4's development hadn't been a complete crap show, we would have heard about a Donkey Kong game by now. So it's entirely possible they put a project on hold. To go and fix something and then come back. And if that's the case, then it'll be a little bit, before this gets finished. Like I said, I love Donkey Kong. Would love more. Be great. So
I just hope it's a 2D Donkey Kong game again. And there are definitely some studios that can do that. They're outsourcing wise. So I don't know, Donnie. I hope a Donkey Kong game's coming out. I can totally see them announcing it 3 or 4 months before, like Paper Mario. And just dropping a smaller Donkey Kong game. That would be cool. That would be really, really cool.
It would be cool. Brolin wants to know what game that's coming out this year are you willing to pre-order without reading any reviews or hearing anything about it because you are just that excited to play it?
It's Elden Ring for me.
Ooh.
Oh, it's Elden Ring for you.
Elden Ring, I'm willing to buy sight unseen, and I don't want to know anything more about, because I want that like experience of not knowing what's going on and it being like a new, exciting thing. Elden Ring is the one. I pre-ordered the collector's edition when it dropped, and I said I don't want to hear anything else about it. Let's go. That's it. That's the one for me.
Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. That is definitely mine. I don't care if everyone else is giving it 5s and 6s. I'm gonna play through that game and enjoy it.
Breath of the Wild 2 if it releases, obviously, and Splatoon 3. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm playing that game.
that
I'm
one
gonna
too.
love every second of
Splatoon
it.
3 is a good one.
That's a good
Yeah.
follow on it. If I had to pick a Nintendo only answer to this question, it would be Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just give it to me. I don't even care what you fix or don't. Just give it to me.
Pete the Smiling Stegosaurus says, what should be the next genre to get a Nintendo character multiverse style game like Smash Bros or Mario Kart? So the next genre.
The next genre.
So we've done fighting and racing. So what else is there?
Battle Royale. Nintendo verse Battle Royale with
like a
they did that.
like a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter.
I think
Royale?
third person, like
Third person.
Mario plus Rabbids kind of cartoon style with the toy guns and everything. I'm thinking of Plants versus Zombies type of cartoon style.
That would be
going on.
cool. That would be
Yeah.
cool. I could see that, or even like put some of that stuff in Splatoon 3 and do some sort of crossover content
Yeah.
there. You could do that. That would be very doable. You already have the mechanics for that, and it's
I'd be down with
kid-friendly version of it. So you could totally do what essentially becomes Mario Universe Paintball at that point.
I really
would
like
be
that
the way to handle
idea. That sounds really fun.
I would be
I would
super
really
into
enjoy
it.
that.
I almost feel like that could be. You could even turn some like RPG type elements into that as well. If you didn't want it to be like an action type game, what if there's like a big multiverse like Nintendo RPG? Ooh,
I would be down with that.
That would be fun too. That kind of is what Mario RPG felt like, because it was like
I was
Mario
gonna
and
say I was
Square.
kind of thinking about that when
Yeah.
you said, teaming up.
Yeah. But a paintball like game would be really cool, because you can bring in all the characters, and it would be like an evolution on Smash or Mario Kart, and they could just be having fun. And that's a cool way to do that. That would be fun.
I want that now. Kevin wants to know, the Nintendo 64 classic GoldenEye 007 is likely coming to Xbox. We saw the leaked achievements a little while ago. He says in 2007, Nintendo canceled the remaster that was for Xbox 360 and the original game for the Wii's Virtual Console. He says times have changed. What are your thoughts that GoldenEye 007 could come to the Switch as well?
I think the chances are very likely, because the Rare, like the licensing, if they're going to do it with Rare stuff has come to Switch. I can see that happening pretty effortlessly. I would see it not being on PlayStation. I would see it being a Microsoft Switch crossover joint. I think that's how it's going to work, and that's the way it seems to be rumored to be happening. So.
Do you remember there were rumors, like, I want to say a year and a half, 2 years ago at this point, maybe it was just last year, I don't know, what is time, who knows, where there were rumors about a big collaboration between Nintendo and Xbox. I almost wonder if this whole Rare deal is that.
That was last year, and I could see this.
Last year? Oh my god.
I think so. I don't know what. Well, no, it would be 2020, late 20, whatever. Yeah, Rebecca, I don't know what day it is.
I don't know.
I had forgotten about that until you mentioned it. Everybody thought it would be Game Pass coming to Switch, but this would be a big enough deal that I could see that this being one of those, like, we got all the licensing together to make this happen between these two platforms things. Yeah. I
feel like the only way it happens is getting GoldenEye on the Switch and 64 Virtual Console type thing, because we already know that. Is it Diddy Kong Racing is already the one that's confirmed?
Yeah, it has been. I don't know. I would think if this is a port or any type of remaster, and it's getting fresh achievements on Xbox, which is what's happened, which is what's popped up, that it would be an actual individual standalone release on Switch. That's now what's happening.
The leak. It was actually from the Xbox rumored version, correct?
True Achievements posted a link of achievements for the Xbox version. That's what leaked, like a fresh list of achievements for the Xbox version of this game. And then the discussion
but it's
started.
from the Xbox SKU that was rumored years ago to come out.
I don't remember.
That's what I heard too.
I don't know if that's true or not. They just posted a list of achievements. So the idea is, could be that version, could be something cleaned up more since technology is now different, But Nintendo, it's like weird because it's a rare joint, and then you also have to license it with the Bond people. But then I believe that Nintendo owns the part of the licensing to 007, the game itself. So it's they would have to sign off.
So many ownerships involved.
And if Nintendo has to
That's
sign
crazy.
off on you publishing this to Xbox, there's no reason they don't just say, put it on Switch. This makes no sense. And so I see that
I could see
happening,
a new remastered
you know.
SKU for like, I don't know,
20
20,
bucks.
30
It'll be
bucks.
20
Yeah.
bucks, 20 to 30 bucks, and it will hit Switch eShop, and then it will hit, Xbox, and then you'll get your limited run version that comes with a cartridge that's just like Doom 64. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what's gonna
Wow,
happen.
that's
cool.
like oddly specific, and I feel like that's how it plays out.
That's how it plays out. If this
You're gonna
happens
hit the
now.
nostalgia for this game because let
It's
me tell you,
huge.
it didn't age
Yeah.
that well.
Well, I
It's-
said this on PSVG. I was like, this will be fun, and we all said it. It'll be fun for a weekend.
Yeah.
We'll all get
Yeah.
pissed off online at it, and we'll be done. But everyone.
Now, I never played it. Wasn't the fun playing it locally split screen with people and like not like
Don't
telling
look at
each
my
other not to
screen.
screen cheat?
Don't look at my screen. Don't
look
screen
at my
Yeah.
screen, and he's shoving your friends. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to
Try-
try it because I've never tried it.
You should play the campaign. I still think the campaign is fun. I still think it is.
Yeah, Donnie's saying Quake and Turok. There's
They all got
plenty
the
of other
same
games.
treatment. It was
Yeah.
boom and boom, and
Yeah.
then they hit limited run with like a cartridge version. It was, I think this is happening. I'm
That
excited.
makes sense.
Something will happen, and we will see what that will be. Braindroid wants to know, what are your thoughts about the end of Nintendo Minute? That was never a minute. So for
Next.
those who don't know, the
Sorry.
Joey will let me finish.
I
Next.
didn't even know that was a thing
Damn,
until it ended.
B.
Really? Okay, so for those who don't know, the Nintendo Minute, Kit and Krista, the segment that they do every week ended in December, I think.
Yeah.
They had their last Nintendo Minute. I thought it was kind of cute. I thought, sometimes I stopped watching it. I watched it like in the first couple of months of the Switch's lifespan. I would watch it directly on the Switch itself because they would post it up on the news channel there. And
Got it. Okay, cool.
didn't have a lot to play back then, so I did stuff like that on the Switch. I haven't watched it recently, but I really do like Kit and Krista, as personalities. So I think it's sad that they're ending. They seem to have good chemistry together. I think that what they did was fun, and it was kind of cute marketing. I guess maybe it wasn't.
For sure.
Maybe they decided it wasn't effective marketing, or maybe one of them is moving on to something else now. I don't know. I can't say I'll miss
think
it.
a lot of us fill the void of this. Like, we're doing the marketing for them, so they don't really need this. And I think Nintendo just figured that out. I knew who the face is. I just never knew it was called Nintendo Minute, and I never knew it was like a regular segment. I know they did these cute videos or whatever, and it seemed pretty entertaining here and there. And I'm sad that that's going away because I thought it was pretty okay as well.
Yeah. And they do other social marketing type things at Nintendo, so I'm hoping that they stay there. I know Krista is one of their head social media marketers, so hopefully good things coming for them.
Good.
G-Man says, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song, and why is it 22 in honor of the new year, 2022?
I have no answer to this because I haven't listened to enough Taylor Swift.
Favorite song is not 22 by Taylor Swift, although that is
it?
a good one, G-Man. I don't know. It's so hard to pick a favorite Taylor Swift song, and I don't want this to turn into a Taylor Swift podcast because it easily could. But in the spirit of numbered titles, I'm going to say 7.
Nice. I have no context.
Garrett, what's your favorite?
No.
The ones like the "You Belong with Me" song. I forgot what it was called. The one
it's called "You Belong with Me." Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow, I totally guessed.
I mean, she's consistent in her song titling. Which is good.
I just remember hearing that back in high school on repeat in between classes.
Yeah, it's one of her
it's
older
like
ones.
I know the exact lyrics of that.
Old
one
Taylor,
because
she can't come to the phone right now.
Everyone just jamming it into my head. But yeah, Taylor Swift is cool.
Yeah,
I think her music's fine. Yeah,
I like it too. I just don't have enough background to pick a song. So
good, you guys can stay on the podcast now. Get Good Dad wants to know, now that Nintendo has partnered with Illumination to create a Mario animated film, totally forgot about this. This is also something that's coming out in 2022. Who would you like to see partnered with Nintendo to make a Zelda film?
My answer, I want the Zelda one to be like darker and more serious. So the folks who did, and I don't remember the studio, so the folks who did the Street Fighter 2 animated movie would be rad for this. And that movie is old now, but it still holds up and it's still good. And I would want a darker, more serious business Zelda. I wouldn't want like cartoony Zelda personally, but that's me.
Michael Bay. No, just kidding.
Zack Snyder.
Sure. Transformers, a Zelda story, whatever. That's fine.
I don't want a Zelda film, so I'm not going to answer this.
Fair.
I agree with Elaine. It would have to be very different, and like the Zelda we know today. It's going to be very unrecognizable. That's the only way it could be even watchable at this point.
It would have to be Twilight Princess dark for me to work.
Like darker than that. Like give me the Witcher vibes. Like
Game of Thrones.
Nintendo would never.
Yeah, I know that they never would for Zelda, but that's the only way that I want it.
Yeah, it's true. Adult, grown up.
But it won't happen, so I don't want it.
Correct.
Oh, geez. And NTDO, Nintendo Splat, says, what do you all think should be added to Splatoon 3 to properly distinguish itself from the rest of the franchise? We talked a little briefly about this. I know a lot of people at first criticized Splatoon 2 for being kind of port-like, which I never really thought was the case. I thought there were a lot of new modes, new characters. Like you said earlier, Elaine, I think if they're not going to bring back Salmon Run specifically, I would like something like that, some kind of horde mode or collective team type mode, some new ranked modes, better like connecting with each other online. Give me a campaign, give me a single player campaign that's more like the Octo Expansion DLC than the base game campaign.
Agree. That was really good content, and I hope that's indicative of what they're going towards for Splatoon 3. So, and then, just make it easier to get in. All we really want are quality of life improvements. I'm happy with Splatoon as it stands.
It's okay to maps.
Give me all your old maps. Give me those Splatoon 1 maps that we all love the hell out of. Give me those back, like that would be great. Like it would be cool to have a retro mode where you can go into it with the weapons and settings and stuff for Splatoon 1 or 2 and it like locked really cool. In. I would really love that. Because Splatoon 1 is way more fun to play actually online. But I don't want for much here. Just make it easier to play with my kids. That's all I really want.
XBS brought up a good point in chat. Splatoon would be the perfect match for an animated movie. Give me like a zany Nickelodeon style type show or movie or film or something.
Like game show style. That would be very cool.
It would be very, very cute, and I feel like a better done film than trying to wrangle all the Zelda nonsense.
Agree. Absolutely.
That does it for our questions. Guys, what do you think? Season premiere of Nintendo Shack. I think we have a very exciting year ahead of us.
Woo!
I'm looking forward to it.
Woo!
And immediately following this, me and Garrett are staying up late to do some Fantasy Critic nonsense, so wish us luck for that.
We'll see how that goes.
Good luck, kids.
We'll see how that goes.
Do other things that I have to, grown-up things that I have to get done. Boring. You guys are having way more fun than me.
And thank you everyone for bearing with us with the time changes and whatnot. Getting back on schedule for the new year was a little bit of a challenge, but we'll be back hopefully regularly scheduled our Thursday night next week, and then we're gonna have to talk once Garrett moves when we'll do our recording, because you're gonna be in a different time zone than us.
I'll be in a different time zone. We gotta discuss when I'm out too, because I'll be in the middle of moving and everything. Yeah. So we'll get situated.
If we have to move some around, we'll make it work. If we have to, we'll keep the show going on. It'll work.
We got
in California time. Whew.
Oh yeah, so it'll be interesting. So thank you everyone for sticking with us with our craziness, and we will see you next week. Good night, Koopalings.
Bye.
Bye.